What if the most feared emperor in the world had only one weakness, the man he loved? In a kingdom built on blood, power, and ruthless succession, a political marriage brings an unlikely consort into the imperial palace. But the emperor's heart is far more complicated than his crown. He is feared by everyone around him, yet desperately afraid of losing the one person he loves. And the man at the center of his obsession doesn't even realize just how much he means to him. Because in this palace, love may be more dangerous than war. This is Blossoms of the White Knight.
I've made a mistake. His tears can be exceptionally persuasive. When he asked me to teach him, I didn't realize he'd be so unversed in the ways of lovemaking. Could it be he's never laid with a woman before, either? So much so that I found it odd he'd be so terrified by the sight of a little blood. I'm not his very first, am I? I certainly hope not.
I'm sorry, my lord.
I believe I deserve an explanation at least, Mushnu.
His Majesty instructed that nobody is to enter his bedchamber, including you, Sir T.
It's been long since we've left Ovium. The air grows hot. He sleeps like a baby. All the more reason I can't understand. Mushnu said he has never seen Shuraka sleep. And yet, when we are together, he has no problem with such intimate proximity.
T is sitting there trying to put the pieces together, and somehow every answer he comes up with only gives him more questions. And meanwhile, Shuraka is sleeping peacefully like absolutely nothing happened. Bro, you have no idea how much overthinking your empress is right now.
He's been avoiding me ever since that night. The subtle scent of Shiwa reminds me how helpless I am. And how he must rely on drugs to keep his libido in check because of such helplessness. If I fail to prove my worth, my presence in his court will surely be questioned. Shuraka, I have a question.
Beloved. What is it?
It seems we will arrive at your palace in Arnata soon. Will you also refuse to spend the nights with me there? I'm sorry if I disappointed you that night. But with your blood starting to turn, your well-being takes precedence over anything else. As a man, I cannot fully satiate your desires and mitigate the effects of your poison. It only seems right you rescind the decision to take me as your bride. And crown a more deserving woman as your empress consort. As for Larikal, I will ensure that the correct message will be.
Beloved. The seat of the consort is yours and yours alone. No one may replace you. The reason is simple. I am Padishah.
His gaze is unsettling.
Don't worry, beloved. I've pruned Arnata nice and neat now. None in the kingdom will dare imagine anyone but you as their Sultana Supreme.
He feels so different.
Again, he refuses to make eye contact with me. A mere hint of authority from me draws such response from him. He's just like mother. Arg, I feel nauseous.
Your Majesty.
It would seem best we travel separately henceforth.
In that case, I will.
Beloved. We are in Arnata now. You cannot defy me here. I advise you get plenty of rest, beloved, as this will be your last chance to spend time alone. How exhausting. Keep an eye on the Sultana.
Yes, Your Majesty. As you command.
The breeze is warm. And so he has finally returned to the land of Arnata.
Okay, Shuraka has officially entered his terrifying Padishah era. T came into this conversation ready to offer up his position as consort, and Shuraka basically said, "Absolutely not. You belong to me." And then the man casually announces that Arnata has already been pruned. Bro, what exactly did you do while T was away?
It is our honor to behold Mother Earth of Nadam, Shabanu, our Empress consort.
Is that the Eye of Nadam?
I am Jacker Loram, serving at His Majesty's pleasure as his aide. His Majesty went on ahead to his court, instructing me to welcome you in his stead.
I see.
Now, if you'll please come this way. Given your long and arduous journey, the investiture ceremony will be deferred until you've had sufficient time for respite. This is the Ruby Palace. His Majesty had it groomed especially for you. His Majesty himself bloomed these red flowers, you see. A beautiful garden befitting of our Shabanu's splendor.
The place is covered in red roses. He said pear blossoms resembled me before. And now, those pear blossoms are nowhere to be seen. Things are different now, I suppose. Am I the one who has changed over the past dozen years, or is it you, Shuraka? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between. I suppose much can change over 12 years, after all.
Did you have a question?
Oh. No, Where is Oberon?
I must admit, I did not anticipate that as your first question. Oberon Loram was my elder brother. While serving to protect our son, he returned to the embrace of Nadam. I am only alive today because of my brother and His Majesty. There was a man who was not chosen by Nadam. An affectionate man who cared deeply about his brother, born of the same mother. The man swore he'd do anything to protect his brother, who would be chosen by Nadam. So he turned to the most gracious and intelligent of Nadam's chosen few, and bowed his head before his younger half-brother. Thanks to that, I was able to survive the fight for the throne. I swore my unwavering loyalty to His Majesty for graciously sparing my life. So it was that two of Shuraka's brothers swore our fealty to him.
Who is the other brother?
That will be revealed to you soon enough. Pledge of fealty aside. We brothers are not exactly on the best of terms.
"12 years were long enough to change the very foundational rules of Arnata. During my long absence, many things changed within the walls of this kingdom. The night breeze is quite cold. It looks like he won't be coming by tonight either. I grew accustomed to spending my nights alone in Larakel. But in Arnata, this is my first time weathering the darkness in his absence. Shuraka was always there by my side before. Solitude never felt so unfamiliar.
The night air is cold, beloved. Good night, T.
He smells of perfume, not Shiwa. This night grows more lonesome by the hour.
Well, T has officially arrived in Arnata, and somehow the beautiful Ruby Palace is making him even more emotional. 12 years have passed, everything has changed, and now even Shuraka feels like a different person.
In Larikal, there is honor only in one's own hands. Such victory seized by one's own hands is second nature to them. I was particularly Larikalian in that manner. I was driven by the need to prove my worth for the glory of my kingdom and family. Even in the distant land of Arnata, I still desired to prove myself. Although I was a man, I believed I had a duty as the consort to the emperor. Even if it meant my own destruction. Something's wet. A Fenrir. The eggs I gifted him must have hatched. Judging by the dark coat, this one must be Ram. The black one is Ram, the white one is Ram. How sweet. He has tamed them well. Come in.
Good morning, Shabana. Lord Jacker awaits you. Please let us help you get ready.
So Shuraka's not coming. Very well. Now that he's brought me to Arnata, I suppose there's no reason he needs to see me.
His Majesty had to attend to many matters of governance that arose during his absence. As such, he'll be quite preoccupied for the time being. Hence, I am here as his substitute to guide you through the palace. I pray you understand. Today, you will meet the concubines.
Shuraka has concubines?
Yes, of course.
Of course he does. Every Padishah of Arnata has had his own harem. His blood may have turned because he was too busy to take a lover when he prepared to set out to Larikal. Mushnu seemed worried, but it might not be anything serious after all. I didn't get to check his blood myself, after all. So he has his concubines. That's good. I know I should find this reassuring. And yet I remain confused. How, then, can I prove my worth?
Shabanu. Is everything all right? You seem...
Oh, no. It's nothing. I'm fine.
You need not worry. His Majesty insists on you alone, Lord T, to be his Shabanu.
What is that supposed to mean?
It's just, you seem in need of reassurance.
Me?
Never mind, then. It is not my place to address this anyway. As a man, I am forbidden from entering the harem. A special exception has been made for this tour.
You do realize I, too, am a man.
This is Lar, the former princess of Kars. I'm sure you'll find her wisdom and poise quite useful should you need her assistance.
I will remember that.
This is Riven, former prince of Salida, known as the Island of Pirates.
It is an honor to meet you, Shabanu. I am Riven Agnes.
That scent. It's the same one I smelled on Shuraka that night. I didn't realize he had a male concubine. No wonder his father permitted me to marry Shuraka despite Larikal's antics. Come to think of it, all the concubines here seem quite mature. Some may seem younger than others, but they're all still visibly older than Shuraka. Does it simply reflect Shuraka's taste in his lovers? Perhaps I, too, fall into that category, or is his obsession with me a mere misunderstanding, akin to a hatchling's imprinting? Well, then. I've truly become nothing but a laughingstock.
Shabana? Are you alright, Shabanu?
There was nothing I could count on in this relationship from the beginning. And yet, I was resolved to find a way to prove my worth somehow. When Shuraka refused me that night, I thought it was merely because I am a man. Now, however, I know that's not the case, further invalidating my cause. I'm all right. Please, continue.
The climate here is very different from that of Larakel, isn't it? I, too, found it most difficult to acclimate to the weather in Arnata at first.
Is that so?
While we all hail from distant realms, I was the only man in his harem. So I have long awaited the day I'd finally meet your exaltedness. Please don't hesitate to tell me should you find any difficulty settling in. I will strive my utmost to be of service. And you need not worry about tending to His Majesty, for I made certain he would go without want last night. So in the meantime, your graciousness may focus solely on recovering from fatigue.
So this is whom he was with last night. While there's nothing unusual about the Padishah spending a night with his concubine, I can't help but squander my energy with undue envy. So you've served His Majesty as is expected of all concubines. Well done. I am relieved to know this crystal harem is thronged with such exceptional beings. But you all may rest assured now, as a lifetime of warring and hunting has hardened my body to be most resilient. In fact, I'm ready to serve His Majesty myself tonight. So you may rest easy without worry.
Oh,
As you command, Shabanu.
Bro T is trying so hard to act unbothered while being bothered by absolutely everything. And honestly, I was blindsided by the harem too. I wasn't expecting Shuraka to have a whole collection of concubines waiting for him in Arnata. Especially a male one. Bro, Emperor, you better explain this clear and really quickly. Then T recognizes Shuraka's scent on Riven and immediately starts spiraling. And his solution? That's fine. Actually, I'm ready to serve His Majesty myself tonight. Sir, nobody asked you to compete with the entire harem.
How exhausting.
Beloved. I was told you are unwell. I'm sorry. I was too preoccupied to look after you myself. I heard you tended to the concubines today. You didn't have to do that. They are not worthy of your attention. I implore you to focus solely on your own recovery. I will take care of anything that you'd find exhausting.
Among those radiant blossoms. How could I, mere hoarfrost, ever prove myself?
Oh, beloved. How I've longed to see you.
I thought he'd be cross with me, having stormed off like that. It seems his anger has quickly faded.
I could think of nothing else but you all day today. It's like a dream come true that you will be by my side every night now. I could think of nothing else but you all day today.
And what about last night? Did you spend it with one of your concubines? I couldn't help but notice that alongside all those beautiful women in your harem, there was also a man. If you've merely come to keep me company lest I feel lonesome, you need not worry about me.
No. My nights are now meaningless without you. I was too busy to spend the night with you yesterday, but henceforth, I shall spend each and every moon in your presence. I don't want anyone else. Please let me remain by your side. I adore you, my beloved. Beloved. I love you.
Though they say distance makes the heart grow fonder, that's just the heart playing tricks on the mind. Thus I can't help but hesitate as I try to push him away, to see such deception take hold of his eyes. The fault is mine.
Bro Emperor, you're still not explaining anything. I love you. I adore you. I want to spend every night with you. Okay, we heard you. But T is not going to magically accept that just because you keep repeating it. The real problem isn't whether you want to spend the night with him or you love him. It's that you haven't explained anything. What happened 12 years ago? Why did you send him away? Why did you come back? Why do you have a harem? And now that T finally asks about it, you still just say, I love you. Bro, please explain yourself before this man creates an entire story in his head.
Beloved. May I touch you, beloved?
Yes, Shuraka.
OT. This man is doing everything except believing the one thing Shuraka keeps trying to tell him. He sees the concubines, smells Shuraka's perfume on Riven, finds out Shuraka spent the night with him, and immediately starts convincing himself that he's just some embarrassing misunderstanding. And then, because apparently suffering wasn't enough, T practically announces to the entire harem, that's fine. I'm ready to serve His Majesty myself tonight. Sir, nobody asked you to compete with the entire harem. Meanwhile, Shuraka comes back basically saying, I don't want anyone else. I adore you. The man couldn't be any clearer. T spent the entire day questioning his worth, comparing himself to the concubines, and trying to prove that he's worthy of being Shuraka's consort, while Shuraka's solution is basically, stop trying so hard to prove yourself. Just stay with me. Bro, please listen to your husband.
Are we really doing this now? But I haven't even prepared.
My apologies, beloved. You must still be weary from the long journey to Arnata. But I don't think I can hold myself back a moment further. May I continue the joy deferred from that night? This time, I will be most careful, lest I hurt you again like before.
Have no fear, Shuraka. He was clumsy at all of this before. And now, he's trying to take the lead. When did he grow so adept? Did someone teach him? Oh, so he lied to me again.
Oh.
Flashback.
Stay back. Is it not enough you've slaughtered all your brothers? How could you also strike down those who have been kind to us? I should have never had you. You terrify me, Shuraka.
Why did I do that? It was my chance to fulfill my duty. I suppose I got rather emotional in that moment. Wait, emotional? About what? The thought that Shuraka lied about spending the night with his concubine? Him deceiving me? No. That would just mean that I wish to blame Shuraka. It's completely natural for the Padishah to spend a night with his concubines. Or perhaps he cares enough about me to lie. Damn it, that's even worse. For over a decade, I prayed for nothing but the boy's safety. Because that was the only thing I could do after pledging my loyalty to him. Oh, what was I thinking? In that moment, a look washed over his face. The look of a frightened boy. I should ask him to stay. Shuraka.
It's Mushnu, my lord.
I'm sorry, beloved. I'll be back in a moment.
Then I will wait.
No, get some rest.
How did I dare lose control of my petty emotions right in front of the Padishah? I've never been like this. I've grown complacent.
Riven has taken another man.
I was lenient with him once, and now he grows bolder yet. I'll go take a look.
Then I will follow.
OT. The irony is painful. You've been complaining that Shuraka has avoided you all the way from Larikal to Arnata, and now that he finally gathers the courage to come back and try again, you immediately think, wait, who taught you that? Haha. Bro T, Shuraka is already terrified that you might reject him. and now your reaction makes him think you're disgusted with him. Poor Shuraka finally worked up the courage to reach for the man he loves, only for T to unknowingly hit his biggest insecurity. They both desperately want each other, and somehow they're still finding ways to misunderstand each other.
He came just as I thought. I've been eagerly waiting for your majesty.
Was last night not enough?
Of course not. Once is never enough. You came to me last night and watched me closely as I engaged in this activity. What greater ecstasy could there be than my beloved Padishah seeking me out and gazing upon me like this? How could I resist doing this again?
Beloved?
Oh no.
Yes, my beloved lord. I could do anything for you.
Anything, you say? How touching. Let's see how true to your word you are. Disgusting. Do you take me for a fool?
No, your majesty. I truly love you.
You say you love me, and yet you dare lay with another man right in front of my eyes. This may have worked with my father, the previous Padishah, but it won't with me. The only reason I'm letting you live is because you do not love me. I don't need anyone to love me. The only one whose love I need is my beloved T. He alone is enough. So hear me well. Anyone other than T who claims they love me shall die by my hand. What greater way to die than to be killed by the one you love? For my mother's sake, I will spare you, but mark my words, this is your last chance.
Oh, Mr. Concubine. You really thought you had figured Shuraka out. He watched you last night, so you assumed, His Majesty likes watching. And now you thought doing it again would earn you his favor. Bro, Shuraka wasn't watching because he enjoyed the show. He was literally trying to learn what to do with T. You completely misunderstood everything. In Shuraka's world, only T exists. He has no interest in anyone else. T is the only one he wants.
He's late. Perhaps he won't return tonight.
Alas, I thought you'd be asleep by now. Were you waiting for me? I'm sorry I took so long. Beloved.
The boy's hair always brimmed with the scent of sweet spices. Who dared taint him with the stench of blood? Whose blood is that? Please tell me.
Someone had to be punished. I should have cleaned up, after all. I rushed over when I heard he was waiting. This was my mistake. What if he fears me now? That strange look on his face. I've never seen anything like it. What could it mean?
Are you hurt?
Oh.
There's too much blood on you. You should wash up, lest it carry any disease.
He's not like my mother. He does not yell at me.
And if you'd allow me, I would like to help protect you.
He wants to protect me. Even now. Even though I am no longer a child? I feared that my beloved would leave me when I was no longer a child. As my body grew, so too did my anxiety. Should I cut off my legs at my knees? Many nights I spent peering beneath my knees. So I don't have to be a child.
Oh, T. You were waiting for him to come back, and now he finally does. except he's covered in blood. And Shuraka is standing there wondering if that look on T's face means he's afraid of him. After everything that happened tonight, the poor man is already expecting T to reject him again. But instead, T's first instinct is to ask, "Are you hurt?" Bro, you have no idea how much that one question is about to mean to him.
That mark on his back.
Beloved, remember the story you tell me each night?
You mean the tale of the woman who saved a god?
I'd like to hear it again.
As you wish. Long, long ago, there lived a god named Zars in the north. This is the story of Melia, the woman who saved a god. In the northern reaches of the continent reigned Zars, the god of the northern winds and victory. Zars liked games and war. Because he always won, he was an arrogant god. Zars had a beautiful, wise, human wife named Melia. Wise as she was, Melia worried about her husband's arrogance. But Zars dismissed her concerns. Seeking to flaunt his majesty, Zars waged one war after another. Eventually, he angered the other gods for defiling their land, prompting them to join forces and drive him into the underworld. When Melia heard of her husband's demise, she fell into despair and cried every day. Her tears eventually formed a lake, from which sprung a water sprite, who took pity on Melia and told her where her husband is. "Weep no more, mother. I will tell you where you can find him. Even the gods can get lost in the underworld, so take this candle with you. It will lead the way. Remember, this candle cannot be relit once it blows out. Be sure it does not lose its flame. The darkness of the underworld can suck in human souls, so peer not into it with your own eyes. Cover your eyes and tread through the darkness. Believe in yourself. Then you will reach the destination of your desire." And so, Melia covered her eyes and headed into the depths of the underworld, with nothing but the lit candle to guide her. "Give me the candle and I will shower you with treasure." The demons tempted her as she descended, but Melia remained firm in her resolve. As her resolve grew, so too did the candle's glow. Even the wax stopped melting down. Eventually, Melia reached the belly of the underworld and was reunited with her husband. Realizing his wife's tremendous love for him, Zars repented his arrogant ways. Guided again by Melia's candle, the couple safely returned home. The woman had saved a god because she believed in herself, even though she was a mere mortal. She later became the symbol of Larikal. That is why Northerners take great pride in seizing victory for themselves without relying on the gods. Although some still pray to Zars during times of war, most learn the way of Melia, which teaches the importance of forging one's own path instead of relying on divine intervention. That is why piety is so scarce in Larikal. Even our temple has a statue of Melia instead of an idol of Zars. That scar over the tattooed sun. Who dared to inflict such harm on you? What dangers have you faced while I was gone?
I envy Zars. To have someone willing to descend into the underworld for you.
I would gladly do the same for you.
But how will one find me there if they do not love me?
My feelings for him are grounded in loyalty. My answer is not the one he seeks. I don't know how to respond.
So it's all right. At least you wouldn't stab me in the back, as my mother did.
What do you mean?
It is all right even if you do not love me. I'm accustomed to such things, you see. After all, this place is hardly different from the underworld for me. so long as you do not betray me. That reason alone is enough for me to go on.
Oh, Shuraka. He doesn't even ask T to love him anymore. He just asks him to not betray him. And that story about Melia saving Czars hits differently now, because Shuraka is basically asking, if I ever fall into my own underworld, would you come looking for me? And T is sitting there knowing that loyalty is not the same thing as love. But he can't bring himself to give Shuraka the answer he's hoping for. These two are going to break my heart. And just like that, T is finally beginning to see that there is much more behind Shuraka's actions than he ever imagined. But Shuraka still doesn't believe that T could truly love him, and T isn't even sure how to answer him. After everything they've been through, their biggest obstacle may not be the kingdom, the harem, or even Shuraka's past. It may simply be the things they are both too afraid to say. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next part. And if you'd like to watch the story ahead of YouTube and the uncut, original version, you can find the complete version on my Patreon. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.